The billionaire had spent years searching for the family heirloom that vanished after tragedy. But when he spotted it on a barefoot girl outside a grocery store, his world turned upside down. It was just after dusk when Adrian Cole stepped out of his sleek black SUV, ready to grab a quick coffee before his next board meeting. The city was buzzing, streets still wet from an earlier rain. He adjusted his watch and headed toward the cafe when something small, fragile, and unexpected caught his eye. A little girl, maybe 7, sat cross-legged on the sidewalk beside the grocery store. Torn jacket, dirt-smudged cheeks, but eyes full of quiet strength. She was drawing on a scrap of cardboard with a dull red crayon. But it wasn't the drawing that stopped Adrian Cole. It was the necklace around her neck. A gold locket, shaped like a heart, with a tiny emerald chip in the center, cracked at the edge. Adrian's heart slammed in his chest. He hadn't seen that necklace in over 20 years. It had belonged to his younger sister, Claire, the sister he'd lost in a house fire when they were kids. The same necklace their mother had given Claire for her birthday. The one Adrian had searched for after the flames died, but never found. It was supposed to have burned. Couldn't be here. Not now. Not around this girl's neck. He walked toward her slowly, almost afraid to speak. "Hey, sweetheart," he said gently. "Where did you get that necklace?" The girl looked up, clutching the locket protectively. "It was my mommy's," she said softly. "She said it was the only nice thing her family left her." Adrian's breath caught. "Your mommy," he whispered. "What was her name?" The girl hesitated. "Claire. Claire Mason." Adrian froze. Claire. The name hit him like a punch. Mason, their mother's maiden name. A name Claire had used when she ran away from foster care after the fire. Could it be? The truth was unraveling faster than he could process. Adrian knelt slowly, his polished shoes inches from the girl's bare toes. For a moment he forgot the meeting, the suit, the empire he'd built. All he saw was a tiny reflection of someone he'd mourned for decades. "Your mom," he said carefully. "Is she here with you?" The little girl shook her head. "She went to heaven last year. I live with Miss Patty now. But sometimes she lets me come here and draw while she works." Adrian's throat tightened. His mind raced, the fire, the reports, the empty grave. He'd been told Claire didn't survive, that there was no trace of her. But what if they were wrong? What if she'd lived alone, scared, lost in a system that failed her? And now this little girl, his niece, was sitting on a sidewalk, wearing the one thing that had survived it all. "What's your name?" he asked softly. "Hope," she said with a shy smile. "My mommy picked it. She said it was the only thing she had left after losing everything." Adrian swallowed hard. His vision blurred, not from the cold, but from the weight of what he was feeling. This wasn't just a child with a necklace. This was his family. Suddenly, a tired-looking woman came rushing from inside the store. "Hope, I told you not to talk to strangers." The girl jumped up. "Sorry, Miss Patty." But before they could leave, Adrian stood up, reaching gently into his wallet. "I'm not just a stranger," he said, handing over a business card. "Please let me explain. I think she's the last piece of someone I lost a long time ago." Patty looked suspicious but took the card. "We're not looking for trouble." Adrian nodded. "Neither am I. I'm looking for answers. And maybe a second chance." That night, Adrian couldn't sleep. He sat in his penthouse apartment, city lights glowing behind him, but his eyes were locked on a photograph. The only picture he had left of his sister Claire. She'd been 15 in it, grinning wildly, the same way Hope had smiled. He'd spent years building skyscrapers, buying companies, collecting art. Yet nothing had ever filled the hollow space Claire left behind. Until now. The next morning, Adrian arrived early at the modest foster care center where Patty worked. He carried documents, photo albums, and a single flower, Claire's favorite, a white daisy. Patty met him at the door, cautious but curious. "Hope's still asleep. You sure about this?" "I've never been more sure of anything," Adrian said. He showed her the documents. Old news clippings from the fire, hospital records, even a handwriting match from a school journal Claire once kept. Then, he opened a page in the photo album, Claire as a teenager wearing the same locket Hope now wore. Patty's face softened. She never talked much about her past, just said she lost everything. But she loved that little girl more than life itself. Adrian nodded, his voice low. She was a fighter. She must have survived the fire, but she never reached out. Maybe she was scared. Maybe she thought I'd moved on. Hope came running in minutes later, sleepy-eyed and curious. When she saw Adrian, she smiled, the kind of smile that makes you believe in things again. "Hi again," she said. He knelt down. "Hi, Hope. I brought something." He handed her the daisy. She took it gently. "My mommy used to put these in my hair." Adrian smiled, eyes glassy. "She used to do the same for me." For a moment, nothing needed to be said. There was pain in the room, loss, guilt. But above all, there was something stronger beginning to take root. Connection. 3 weeks later, the story made headlines across the city. Billionaire reunites with niece after decades. A necklace led him home. But behind the flash of cameras and media frenzy was something far more intimate. A quiet breakfast table in a sunlit kitchen, where Hope now sat in bunny pajamas, swinging her feet as Adrian poured cereal. They were slowly learning each other. She showed him drawings. He taught her how to crack eggs without shell bits. Every night, she asked for stories about her mom. And every night, Adrian gave her one, voice soft, eyes misty. He had the best lawyers arrange custody. Patty, the woman who'd cared for Hope when no one else did, was offered a permanent position as her nanny and caregiver. If she wanted it. She accepted, but not for the paycheck. "She needs people who love her," Patty had said. "You're not replacing her mom, but maybe you can give her back what she lost." One afternoon, Adrian took Hope to a quiet hill where the grass swayed in the breeze and daisies grew wild. He laid down a simple stone. Claire Mason Cole. Sister. Mother. Survivor. Hope placed her necklace on the stone, just for a moment. "I'll keep it close," she whispered. "Always." Adrian crouched beside her, hand gently on her shoulder. "You gave me back more than family," he said. "You gave me a reason to look forward again." From that day on, Hope never sat alone outside grocery stores. She lived in a home filled with music, warm meals, bedtime stories, and the kind of love that doesn't vanish in a fire, or time, or silence. And whenever someone asked Adrian Cole what finally made him slow down and live differently, he'd simply say, "A little girl with my sister's smile, and a necklace strong enough to survive anything."